What is up guys, my name is Mario and it's time for me to give you the review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 after I used it for a couple of months. So let's go check it out. First, I want to talk about the awesome 6.3-inch Infinity display that you're going to get with this phone. So one of the advantages of having a wider screen is that you're going to be able to multitask on this phone. You're going to be able to use the multi-window option where you can have YouTube in one side and you can have your Twitter feed on the other, or you can just be checking emails. If you're playing mobile games, having a bigger screen means you're going to be able to have a better handle with the phone. If I'm just watching videos on YouTube or maybe watching a movie on Netflix, it's just great to have that full screen size experience. Having a larger screen does make it a little bit harder to use single hand functionality, so usually I have to use both hands. Especially if I'm typing, there's something about the keyboard that the screen size ratio I find it a little bit hard to type with one hand, but that's just me. But also you're gonna have this great feature called one hand mode, which you can activate. Now moving into the performance, this phone is gonna handle pretty much anything you throw at it. With the 6 GB of RAM, the 835 Snapdragon octa-core processor, you're gonna be able to heavily multitask. I pretty much can open any app I want. I usually have multiple apps running in the background and I'm able to go from one app to the other and I have no issues with glitches or applications crashing. I also play some of the more advanced games like PUBG. I'm able to play with the HD graphics, some of the advanced settings, and I can play for a couple of hours and I don't notice any glitches, and best of all, this phone will not get hot. But when it comes with the battery, I mean, it does the job. It's gonna have a 3300 milliamp battery, which it gets me through the whole day without having to recharge. But with adaptive fast charging, I can get back in my feed real quick. So usually within 30 minutes, I can get about 40% of the battery life when I'm between 0 to 40. And to get a full battery charge, it usually takes me about an hour and a half. And let's just not forget the wireless charging capabilities. Next, let's talk about the S Pen. If you're familiar with the Galaxy Note series, you know that there's not going to be another phone out there that is going to give you the same experience. To the physical pen, they haven't done much improvement. I mean, they made some improvements to the end tips and just the grip of it is a little bit better. One thing that I like a lot is that you're able to take quick notes on the go. If your phone is off, you don't even have to turn it on. As soon as you pull the pen out, you can start juggling down some notes. And once you're using the phone, you can use the pen to navigate. It is very responsive. It is very easy to use. Using the air commands, you're going to have multiple features like Smart Select, Screen Write, Live Messages, Translate, Bixby by Vision. I do want to know, what is your favorite feature using the stylus pen if you currently have one? Now let's talk about the cameras on this phone. In the back, you're gonna have a 12 megapixel dual camera. One camera is gonna take just regular shots. The second camera is gonna allow you for 2x optical zoom in. So basically it's gonna allow you to take some pictures from far away and still give you very good picture quality. With the combination of these two lenses, you're gonna have another option called live focus. So basically you're gonna be able to have that blur background effect. So especially if you have a subject and you wanna focus on that person or that item and have that blur effect in the back. And best of all, that when you snap the picture, this is gonna take two pictures, one with the wider angle where it's gonna show basically everything around the subject that you took the picture, and the other picture is just gonna be the subject with the blur background effect. The aperture on this camera is gonna be 1.7, so basically what it means is that you're gonna be able to take better pictures when it comes to low light scenarios. And the camera in the front is not gonna stay behind. It's gonna have an 8 megapixel camera with as well 1.7 aperture, and it's gonna have a smart autofocus. And when it comes to video, you're gonna be able to take 4K video quality, and if you want, you can even have the feature for slow motion. Now let's talk about Bixby. Now, Bixby, I feel like it's like a love and hate relationship. A lot of people hate it, some people like it, some people find it interesting. I personally, I haven't really used it a lot. I haven't really invested the time to learn how it works, to learn all the commands. To be able to get all the full functionality, I feel like you have to sit there and basically learn what it can do, learn how it can be done, and then start using it. I do find it annoying that every time I try to press the volume button, I do press the Bixby button by accident, and now you get this pop-up window that comes up and then you're trying to close it. And I know you can disable it, but I just haven't done it because I really want to learn more about it, and hopefully one day I will get there where I can fully start using Bixby, especially if I continue using the Samsung phones in the future, and Samsung basically is considering to make this better and bigger in the near future. Now the Note 8 offers you multiple ways in which you can unlock the phone. One of them is the iris scanner. Next, you have face recognition and the fingerprint sensor. I personally use the fingerprint sensor. Some people mention that they're not able to reach the fingerprint sensor. It's really hard to get to it. I personally don't have an issue. Now, I really like the face recognition. This is very quick. Usually when I press the power button and if I'm looking at the phone, it automatically unlocks the phone. It almost feels like just by pressing the power button, it's unlocking the phone. Next, using the iris scanner. This is really not my favorite one. It does take time getting used to it. You have to know how to position the phone. A lot of times it just won't work and you have to try it again, but you do have options, and definitely the fingerprint sensor is my favorite one. Next, I want to talk about some of the improvements or some of the opportunities that I find on the Galaxy Note 8. The first one is the actual speaker on the bottom. I feel like now every phone should have at least 2 speakers. The Note 8 speaker is not that bad. It's pretty loud, but it's just not good enough. I feel like you gotta have at least 2 speakers. Usually if I'm holding the phone with one hand, I'm blocking the speaker. So I find it hard. If I'm playing the game, it doesn't sound the same. And if I'm just watching a video and if I'm holding the phone, it blocks some of the sound. My next complaint is gonna be on the battery life. I feel like Samsung needs to do a better job when it comes to battery. I mean, I know at first you do get pretty much a full day of battery life. As I'm gonna start using this phone more and more, the battery is gonna start getting depleted and it's not gonna hold the charge the same way. And having a phone like the Note 8, this is gonna be a phone that people are gonna use all the time. They're gonna use it for business, play games, heavily multitask. So you gotta have very good battery for this phone. So I hope this is something that they're gonna improve on the Galaxy Note 9. And another real struggle that I find is that it is really hard to find a good screen protector for this phone. Of course, there's some very expensive screen protectors that you can find out there for $30, $40, $50, which I don't feel it is worth it paying for a screen protector on a phone. But if you want to go find a budget screen protector that is going to protect the phone and is going to work pretty well for about $10, $20, it's going to be really hard. I already pretty much went through about 4 or 5 screen protectors, and either they break easily, they come off easily. And this last one is just a matter of opinion, but a lot of people are out there saying, bring the IR blaster back. What do you think? Do you think Samsung needs to bring the IR blaster back with the Galaxy Note 9? If you have a Galaxy Note 8 or thinking about getting one, or if you have any of the Galaxy Note phones, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna have a lot more videos on the Galaxy Note 8, and I've been doing a bunch of videos on the other Galaxy Notes, like for example, the Galaxy Note 4, the Galaxy Note 5. So consider subscribing to this channel. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.